Hey, what up, YouTube? It's gonna be another good weekend for boxing. I don't know. We haven't so far. We've had a lot of good fights. Has been one of the best months, for boxing in the history. I mean, at first, the beginning of this month, we had Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Then we had Canelo versus Kirkland, and now this weekend, upcoming, we got Gennady Golovkin versus Willie Monroe. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Willie Monroe and Golovkin. Um, Maybe I'm the only YouTube channel that's gonna say this, and as always, it gets some crazy comments. But I think Golovkin versus Monroe is a huge mismatch. I'm not saying that it's a cherry pick. I never said that, so please don't put words in my mouth. Um, Reason I said that, I mean, Golovkin is a strong fighter. He's number two to Cotto, and this dude is a knockout artist. He's never lost before. I mean, he gets the job done quick. He goes for the knockout all the time, whether he gets it or not. He's got a very high percentage KO, and he's a humble guy too. And based on his performances, let's just go with the last three performances he's had. Golovkin, he's solid. You know what I mean? He's really solid. He's smart. He's got good defense. He's got good punching power. Not necessarily the best, but he's got great power. And to top it off, experience. I really don't see Monroe's upsetting Golovkin per se. I don't see it. I think that Monroe should have picked another fight, or vice versa. I believe that Golovkin should fight Cotto instead. If we wanted to see a great boxing, but things happen. Yeah, I get it. Triple G got to fight somebody else before he fights Cotto. But the Golovkin versus Cotto, or Cotto versus Golovkin, should I say? I mean, that's the fight. That's a fight that it's gonna be interesting. I'm not saying that Golovkin versus Monroe ain't gonna be, it's not gonna be interesting, because every fight is interesting. It's the outcome of the fight. But like I said, this is just my prediction of the Golovkin versus Monroe, and I don't see Monroe upsetting Golovkin at all. As a matter of fact, I see Monroe. Not necessarily schooled, because I don't really like to use that word against Monroe, because he does have a good technique. He does have some power, but not strong enough power. I mean, I don't think he can knock out Golovkin. Last dude that he fought, what's his name? Brian Vera. I mean, he hit him so many times in the face. I mean, if that was Golovkin, he would have knocked him down already. But again, Brian Vera is a solid competitor also. But I don't think his punches are strong enough. He does land. I mean, he did land a lot of shots, and he won via unanimous decision against Vera. But I'm not sure that was Brian Vera, but I think it was the last fight with Monroe. I believe that Monroe needs to grow a little bit more. He does have a very, very low KO percentage, and he doesn't have really the smarts of Golovkin when it comes to the ring. And like I said, experience-wise, experience play a huge factor in fights, and we saw that with a lot of fighters. And the most recent one was Canelo versus Kirkland. Both fighters were competitive. I mean, both fighters were solid. Canelo and Kirkland, both fighters solid, but the smarts per se of being in the game a little bit longer, and the experience, really shows up sometimes, and that makes a big difference. Like I said, I'm gonna say it again. I think that Golovkin versus Monroe is gonna be an interesting fight. Obviously, I'm still gonna watch it, like everybody in the world, if you're a boxing fan. But I don't think it's that much exciting. I mean, it's Monroe is gonna be a huge underdog, and the only thing that people are hoping for, if you're a Monroe fan, is to pull an upset against Golovkin. I highly, highly doubt that. We might see something like that against Cotto or somebody else. But not. I mean, if you know Canelo's willing to move up in weight class, or vice versa, if Golovkin's willing to move down junior welterweight to fight Canelo, or like I said, the other way around, then yeah, that'll be an interesting fight. But as far as Monroe versus Golovkin, my prediction is this. I think Golovkin is going to see first in the first couple rounds, maybe 2 rounds, and see what Monroe's all about and what he brings to the table, and if he acts differently from his previous fights. But I see Golovkin finishing him off after that couple rounds. I don't see this fight going no more than 9 rounds. I think there's going to be a knockout by Golovkin to Monroe. I think Monroe's going to get knocked out by either TKO or KO. Most likely TKO. But it could be KO. Like I said, I just see that Golovkin is very powerful and very much more smarter in the ring than Monroe. And Monroe doesn't necessarily have a good defense. You know, Golovkin has a good defense. And yes, both fighters are offensive fighters. That's what I see. But I see Golovkin just throwing punches after punches and landing. But that's, like I said, after a couple rounds. I'm sure Monroe's going to come strong. Like I said, I don't think this fight was a cherry pick. I just think that it's a mismatch. I don't see the fight going no more than 9 rounds. So yeah, there's going to be a knockout by Golovkin. If not one, more than once. If that's not the final knockout. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. But that's my prediction of the Gennady Golovkin versus Willie Monroe Jr. Golovkin wins this fight 9 rounds or less via knockout. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to you in the next one. And as always, stay safe and take care out there. A lot of crazies. Comment me down below. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.